What are the key differences between AEO and SEO? Marketing companies have actually been lying to you. The landscape of marketing, or the landscape of SEO and AEO, is not what they're telling you. Now, the big shift started back in 2015. Back then, we had to start doing things backwards. We had to do things in reverse order in order to get results. But guess what? Only a very small percentage of businesses did that. And so all the companies today, they're touting terms like AEO, but yet they're still doing things the old way, which today, that's backwards. So the purpose of this video is I'm going to go through and address the misconceptions. I'm going to share a step-by-step path to success, and buckle up because you've never heard this stuff before. Let's dive right in. So if you Google search or YouTube search this question, what are the key differences between AEO and SEO? You're going to find the wrong answer. The answer that you find is actually false. So here's the most common answer. So SEO, search engine optimization, equals optimizing to rank higher in search engine results. AEO, answer engine optimization, is optimizing to be selected as the direct answer by AI tools, voice assistants, and featured snippets. That sounds like somebody might think they know what they're talking about, but that's just a bunch of baloney. Let me make it simpler, and let me tell you how it really is. So AEO is not new. Now that term, answer engine optimization, it's only been around a couple of years, but I've been doing the process since 2013. So if we rewind back 13 years ago, here's the landscape. I had a search engine optimization company, and it was successful. We had my clients' websites ranking #1 on Google. It was a lot of work. It was a big pain. It was stressful, but we got the job done. But one day I noticed something. I was looking at one of these pages that we had ranking #1 on Google, and there were a lot of things that went into that. One small piece was a YouTube video. Well, one day I noticed that YouTube video over on YouTube had 50 times more views than this page ranking #1 on Google. And that surprised me. I looked at other examples, and time again, I kept saying, wow, we're getting way better results on YouTube for one simple ingredient instead of these 20 or 30 ingredients. So that was my first discovery. And as I studied this more and more and really understood what was happening, Google was changing from a search engine to a content engine. It was no longer interested in ranking websites. It was interested in ranking answers to people's questions. So Google was the first search engine to transition into an answer engine. And for the last 13 years, I've helped my clients create tons of answers to questions. So all the content we create are specific answers that answer questions so that Google would provide these answers to them. We also figured out that YouTube search engine turned into an answer engine. So we could create YouTube videos that answered people's questions. They would rank at the top of YouTube search. They would rank at the top of Google search. And then the cool thing is, when ChatGPT started becoming popular a couple of years ago, our videos that we filmed previously, no intention to go on AI, but our videos are now getting recommended on ChatGPT. So as we talk about the difference between answer engine optimization and search engine optimization, here's another way that other people will define it. SEO helps you get found. AEO helps you get chosen. Okay, that sounds good, but that's a bunch of nonsense too. So search engine optimization, it's optimizing for the search engine, and that was important 15 years ago, but all the steps that we took to get there no longer work. Let me explain what they were. Link building. Link building is still done today, and it's not effective. You don't need link authority. You don't need to do blog commenting or article farming, or you don't need infographics or metadata or tags. Keywords aren't important, and you're going to think that's crazy because you've heard everyone else tell you about keywords. It's actually questions that are important. Questions have replaced keywords. Now, as far as the phrase SEO helps you get found, AEO helps you get chosen, no, you do them all in the same thing. There's not two different processes. You do SEO first and then transition to AEO. No, it's simple. It's one step. So you research, you find the questions that your target audience is asking online, and you can find those out very, very specifically. You know that they're your dream clients. You make videos that answer their questions. So we're not talking about promo videos. Promo videos are later. Right now, we're just answering their question. We're not pitching ourselves. We're not telling them our name or our credentials. We're not showing them our logo or anything like that. We're just answering their question and building a relationship, building trust. After they've watched the video, now they trust us. Now you've given them some value. You can offer them a free gift or a free resource, and they can go to your website to get that. Guess what's on your website? Yeah, your logo, your branding, your promotional material, and information about your products or your services. Now, I guess we need to bust one more myth before we dive into this. The myth is that SEO focuses on Google, where AEO focuses on AI tools. And that's just not the case either. In May of 25, I went to a big conference that was full of SEO marketing companies, and they were all talking about AEO and how they were abandoning Google and focusing on ChatGPT. That is very foolish to do, because while we are getting traffic and we are getting leads and clients from tools like ChatGPT, we're still getting way more clients on YouTube and Google. And ChatGPT hasn't taken traffic away from Google. It hasn't taken away its share of search online, because search on Google has actually increased in the last few years. More people are using Google today than last year. Let's talk about another big change that happened back in 2013 that I discovered. So back then, content was not the focus, optimizing the content was. So, I mean, of course, you create a good piece of content, but then the goal was to optimize it. You'd put the right tags in, you'd have the right infographics around it and build a page around it that had all the right metadata. And then you would do link wheel building and link farming and article marketing and blog commenting to point back to that page to build link authority to that page. So long story short, you would create a piece of content and then you would optimize it, okay? Today, it's completely opposite. Now you have to optimize your strategy, figure things out strategically first, and once you have all of that in place, then you create the content that matches that strategy. So we're no longer creating content that I want to create and then optimizing it. We're figuring out the strategy and letting the strategy dictate the content that we create. Once we create that content and we post it to YouTube, we post it to our blog, we don't have to worry about keywords. We don't have to worry about infographics. We don't have to worry about article marketing or links or promotion of any kind. The answer engines work for you. So answer engine optimization is actually done before you create the content. The optimization here is done pre-filming. Now you know the strategy, you've done the optimizing, then you film the video and the optimizing part is done. Now, over the last couple of decades with both SEO and AEO, people have tried to find loopholes. They've tried to find weaknesses in the algorithm, weaknesses in the search engine or these AI tools. So people who take that approach, how do you think they're doing today? How many loopholes are there? Do you think they can trick AI? Because the YouTube search engine is run on AI. The Google answer engine is run on AI. So gone are the days that we can just create a video and by giving it the right tag, we can tell Google or YouTube or ChatGPT what our video's about. That ended decades ago. To talk specifically about YouTube, YouTube transcribes every single word that we say throughout the video. So it knows what your video's about. It analyzes the video content. It analyzes visually your thumbnail. So it knows inside and out what your video's about, and YouTube indexes it so it's searchable. So you don't have to optimize anything once you've created the video. YouTube already knows what your video's about, and you can't trick it. You can't deceive it and tell it something else and expect that to rank. It goes much beyond that too. So you can create a video, let's say it's a 10-minute video on a very specific topic. Well, if people that are searching for that specific topic find your video, because you made that video for them, they're going to watch it all the way to the end, and the algorithm recognizes that. But if the wrong person watches your video and they get 30 seconds in and then they're out, the algorithm notices that, and so it won't send more people like that to your video. So this optimizing step that happens before we hit record on our camera is actually optimizing for the viewer. We know who the viewer is, we know their demographic, we know their interest, we know what stage they're at, and we know a very specific question that they have on their mind right now. So then we just make a video that answers that specific question. And because it's what they need, of course, they watch that video all the way to the end. And that tells the YouTube algorithm and these AI tools, this is the right content for this type of person. So throughout this channel, I teach the LEAF strategy. The LEAF strategy is the step-by-step approach that encompasses all of this. And so as you hear me talk about the LEAF strategy, where does that come from? Well, I use a tree analogy. So the trunk of your tree represents your core area of expertise. What are you known for? What niche are you in? Okay, all the different branches on the tree represent the different ways that you can categorize it. Okay, if you keep going out, branches go into limbs and limbs go into smaller limbs, but eventually you get to the leaves. And the leaves are the most important part of this tree analogy because the leaves represent the very specific questions that your target audience is asking. We don't make videos on trunk topics. We don't make videos on branch topics, but we do question research to find the question or the wording of these questions that your dream clients are asking online. That's the optimizing step. When you follow the LEAF strategy the right way, you actually can be very tactical and strategic about it to where you can own your entire niche. So whether somebody's going to YouTube search or Google search or ChatGPT search or research, you are the one that's being recommended everywhere. You own that space. You own that topic. Now, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, I've created another episode that I'm excited to tell you about. If you really are interested in answer engine optimization, you need to track the right thing. I'll link to another video right here. It's called What is a Good Visibility Score? You'll learn in that video how to actually track AI visibility, not just outdated SEO vanity metrics. And if you're still measuring keyword rankings, you're playing the wrong game. So in that episode, I'll break down what actually matters and shows whether you're growing and getting recommended more, not just pretending to by having some artificial score that goes up. So go watch that video now.